Good morning, everyone. My name is John McInnes, and I'm the President and CEO of Print Audit. Thanks for joining us today. We've got lots of people that are going to be online that are Print Audit Facilities Manager users, I think from around the world. So I'll just go through a little bit of how this is going to work. Because we have so many people on the line, we're going to save questions until after, but there's a question box on your GoToMeeting screen or GoToWebinar screen. Please type in your questions and send them to me, and I'll answer them one at a time. If we get to your questions, we will get to your questions. But if you have other questions, please feel free to call your Print Audit rep wherever you are in the world, and we'll be happy to help out with any questions that you might have. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm told by my folks here that they can see my screen. Oh, also, I've also been told that my voice is fairly hoarse today. My PR person, she told me that I finally hit puberty, which I don't think was as funny as we went through, but hopefully you can all understand me. I don't think I've cold, but I've heard that it might be coming. Anyway, so let's get going. This is all about the release of Facilities Manager 2.2. We released it on March 5th. I'm just going to pull up the screen here. You'll see it in a second. Let's go full screen. Okay, yeah, so this is about Facilities Manager 2.2. As you can see from the slide, we've added a ton of features and functionality and fixed a bunch of issues. But one of the major things that many of you will notice, and some of the things that I'm going to concentrate on today, is we've vastly improved the speed for larger MIFs and larger customers. So all the way up from distributors worldwide down to dealers that have a ton of devices and customers on the system. You should see somewhere around a 5 to 10 times speed improvement. When I'm going through the system, I was showing somebody today, and we've sort of joked that our developers have added Lightning to these 2.2. So I'm just going to quickly go through some of the high-level stuff. Added support for Digital Gateway eAutomate version 8. Most of you haven't seen Digital Gateway version 8 yet, but for our customers that are using eAutomate version 8, we're fully compatible with it. And I skipped some of these blue ones because that's the one that I'll go the demonstration that we're going to do. Other important pieces are some of the issues that we've fixed. And what I'd like to show you is where you can find with all of our releases, let me just pull it up here, with all of our releases where you can find what's been fixed. And so most of you will be familiar with this dashboard. It's the Facilities Manager dashboard. If you've got your own custom branding or whatever, it'll look basically the same except for with your logo on it. The key thing to this is whenever we release a new version of Facilities Manager and ICE, click on the Help button. And again, it'll keep your branding, but come down to latest release notes, and you can see that we released version 2.2 on March 5th, and we've also released a 2.21R on March 7th with some issues that some customers found around the world with the system. This is a fairly major release, so if you're finding issues, please get in touch with us. We have people standing by that are going to fix any issues that do pop up. It's a very large system, so for us to be able to test every piece of it and see what we might have broken with what we've fixed is impossible. So we count on our Facilities Manager community to let us know when they find something, and as you know, we're fairly quick with getting it done. So March 7th, there were some of the issues that you might have had in the first couple of days of the release. We fixed some of them. So that's how you find your release notes. Of course, the online help is great for everything that you need to know about FM. And another piece that you should contact us about, if you need a brush up on how FM works, we have a CBT online training, computer-based training, and your Print Audit rep can teach you and show you how to get to that. Okay, so without further ado, just jumping back to the screen here, I'm going to go over the added enhanced dealer customer site selection tools to applicable pages to improve usability. I'm going to go over replace calendar views when selecting custom dates for reports with faster, easier to use one, and rename the machines and field report to competitive analysis. So how I'm going to go over this is I'm going to show you probably the most important report within Facilities Manager that nobody knows about. So after this, I'm hoping that all of you guys know about the what I call my favorite report in Facilities Manager. So let's pop that back up. So you can see the data here, it's all test data, and so none of it's real, but you're familiar with the dashboard. To get to this report, and I'm hoping that all of you are finding that that the system is much faster for you, so you don't have to wait when you've got larger systems to get to any of your tabs or any of your data. But let's go to data exports. Okay, the greatest report, as I mentioned, that nobody here seems to know about is called the competitive analysis. It used to be called the MIF review, so we've changed the name of this report from the MIF review because it didn't help at all to competitive analysis, and that's exactly what it does. So those that are familiar with reporting, you choose your report and we proceed to next step. And remember, that was under data exports. The next piece that I'm going to show you here is when you get into the grouping and filtering. For those of you that have really, really large systems on here, you know that this was that getting through to reporting and getting through down to the actual customer you wanted to choose was very, very difficult. So if you're a distributor, you'll have one other field here, but in this case, we've got James's dealer. We're going to go to Hyper Global Megacorp as the customer, and then the site. Now remember, it used to be all broken down into one place. Now it's context sensitive, so it knows which dealer you chose, it knows which customer you chose, and then it'll have all the sites. I'm gonna do all sites, and I'm gonna set the date here. Let's do a custom so that I can show you the new calendaring system. So the new calendaring system, which is much easier to use, looks like this. It really is a much nicer system to use, and you can flip through years and years of data very quickly. I'm going to go back to, so that I can get a good report here, I'm going to go back to January 1st, 2010 and to today. So this is going to give me a competitive analysis. Proceed to the next step, and again, you can see that this moves very quickly. I'm going to call this report, I Will Rule the World, on the competitive analysis, and I'm going to deliver this report immediately to my screen. So the report that you're going to see is actually not a great one because it's all test data. I have a sample report from a real customer that I'll show you in a second, but one of the nice things is you saw how quickly this brings up the data on the competitive analysis. And so I'm going to bring up one that really does show the value of this report and how it works. And I'm just going to pop it over onto the screen here. So I've, as you can see, I've redacted the customer name to make sure that innocent parties are kept safe. And as you know, we're very, very sensitive about confidential data here. So you don't see the customer name, but I think you've got a good idea. So this is this customer. It's I think somewhere around the world. This is 1 month snapshot on the competitive analysis. Now what's really interesting here is when you go through this report, you can see at the top there are 4 breakdown areas: devices, managed volumes, unmanaged volumes, and managed volumes percentage. So, and what we're showing you is a competitive analysis. So when you install the ICE at a customer site, and this is really important for a lot of people when they install ICE, they're only indicating on the ICE, when you select the IP ranges, they're only indicating the actual devices that they're managing. We would strongly suggest that you take a look at the entire subnet or as much data as you can to include all of the devices that you don't manage, include the devices that you don't manage, so that you can use this competitive report to understand just how much value or whether you're upside down in an account. So in this case, we've got this customer is, or this dealer is managing 80% of the devices. So there's only 5 devices, which I think is probably a typical customer account. So only 5 devices, they're managing 4 out of 5 of the devices. The total pages in that month was 15,110, and the color pages was 1,413. Unmanaged volumes, so that's the volumes going to that extra device, were 2,200, with 2,031 of those 2,200 being color pages. And so this is where they're upside down on this. They've got a fair amount of their devices can do color that they are managing, but only 41% of the color volumes are going to the managed devices. So they're only getting paid for 41% of those devices. Now this is the benefit of a competitive analysis, and you can go through, for all of you guys that have FM, this facilities manager, this report is available to you. You can go through customer by customer, and then we break down. We don't give you the exact numbers, but we break down, so these are the devices that you've managed, and the volumes that those devices did, or the volume bands that those devices did in the 1 month. And here's your unmanaged printer, the one that's stealing 60% of the color pages from you, and something that you should be addressing in the account. So this is a Xerox Phaser 6280DN, blah, blah, blah. You've got a bunch of information about it. It's getting just under 60% of the color pages. So you want to go in there and encourage them to print color pages to your devices, because hopefully your devices are cheaper than the other ones in there, and you get paid for them. So that's how the competitive analysis works. Of course, if you really want to get working with your customers, this is a great opportunity to start introducing Print Audit 6, which allows for rules which you can actually redirect printing from more expensive devices to your devices. So that's the competitive report, and I strongly suggest that you go for it. Again, for those that have joined in the last few minutes, there's a questions box that you can send questions to us. There won't be any verbal back and forth. We've just got too many people online. So please feel free to send questions through the question box to me, and I'll be answering them in a couple of minutes. Okay, back to the presentation. The next thing that you're going to see is in the next 60 days, we're going to be introducing a new ICE version. The new ICE version is going to have similarly lots of fixes, lots of improvements, as we always do, and we expect that within the next 60 days. We'll make that information available to you, and of course, if the ICE is set up on your customer's accounts to automatically update, it'll do that. I believe that we're going into testing in this in the next 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm pretty excited about it. There's a lot of changes that are coming with that. We've also, over the last couple of months, we've been testing, and now we've released to all of our customers around the world our customer support portal. It's very, very cool. It's a great new way to communicate with support and to communicate your ideas, communicate and log your support cases. You can vote for other people's ideas and access hundreds of support office articles. We really, really do suggest that our facilities manager customers do get online with this system and open up their own account on it, because it's a really, really direct access to our support desk. Especially, our support desk is always busy with phone calls. These do get answered very quickly, but they also give us the chance to react and get an idea of what features and functionality you guys want. So please do take the time to join our support portal today. Most of you know, or many of you know, that last year, at the end of the year, we introduced Print Audit Secure. Print Audit Secure is a pull printing, follow me type solution. It's by far the lowest cost full printing solution, and it's a recurring revenue model, and so we charge per device per month or per device per year. It's really been quite popular. The other nice thing about it is that there's no infrastructure changes needed on a network. Every other competitive system needs every competitive system needs some sort of hardware for the network. It's not needed here. It's the easiest to install, no infrastructure changes, and another really cool thing is that you can release jobs from any browser-enabled device, smartphone, tablet, web browser, or anything. So we, for all of our FM dealers, we're offering a free, not for resale version of Secure for your demo rooms. We strongly suggest that you try it and put it on the demo rooms, because when you show your customers releasing a print job from your tablet or your smartphone, they just go nuts for it. It's really quite popular. Also, you probably heard in mid-February, and you're going to start seeing a lot of advertising around Print Audit Premier. Print Audit Premier is a new business model that we've developed that is a subscription-based business model. You guys that are FM customers, you're already well on your way to being way profitable with this system. But the Print Audit Premier, as I mentioned, is it's all subscription, and what it really does is it allows you to pay us one cost per month and make profit on everything that you sell. So, we have 3 promises that we. Sorry, I've got to take a drink of water here. There's 3 promises that Premier has, and really what it means is Premier helps you to win new customers using all of our assessment tools. So you get all the Print Audit 6 assessment tools, all the racks you can use, anything that you need for assessing customers, and we know that 80% of new customers are won by dealers by doing an in-depth assessment. The next piece of this is keeping current customers. We've done a lot of surveys over the last year, and we've determined that almost 80% of the customers, of your customers that bought Print Audit 6 have been with us for the entire time, for the entire 10 years of the software, but they do tend to switch dealers. And so what we wanted to do was build a system to make sure that they wouldn't switch dealers anymore. So in this case, you own the software, and so at the end of your contracts, your leases, your MPS contracts, or whatever, because you now own the software, if your customer is looking around for another vendor, it's going to make them very sticky with you, because they don't want to give up this great software, as we've learned from our surveys. They never give up our software. They just sometimes give up you. The next piece on this is to make a lot of money. Because of the pricing that we've done, that we've set up on this, you will quickly get to a point where, because it's a base price, everything above it, you're making massive profitability. Can you guys hear me? Anybody hear me? Can you hear me, Angie? Sorry, I just was told that I had cut out, but I hadn't. It was somebody else's earphone. So anyway, getting back to make a lot of money. Essentially, the idea behind this is, because you only pay us a base cost every month, and the cost doesn't change, everything above that you start to make starts to turn into massive profitability. We expect that within the first year of being part of this program, you'll be making between 2 to 22 times the cost that we charge you on a monthly basis. So please, again, contact Print Audit to find out about Print Audit Premier. We've got a lot of people that are going on this. The first 50 customers in North America are getting it for half price as well, and that's really filling up quickly. So that's it. Yeah, that is it for the presentation. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into some of the questions that you've asked me. Again, I can't hear you. There is no way for the questions to come through, so you have to write them into the question box. I've got a few here that I'm going to attack, and but please keep asking them. And once I've run out of questions, then we'll end the presentation. Okay, so question 1. The unmanaged volume says 15 to 1,500 to 3,000, but the total volume of the phaser is 4,300 pages, even though it's 2,300 for black and 2,000 for color. Okay, you're getting me into math. I have to let me look back on that one, Tony, and I'll check it out in a second. I've got your email address. Let me just I'll check back on the math, but I don't want to do it with a bunch of people on here. If we are not managing a device, are we still charged for that device? What is the purpose of not managing a device? Okay, so I can answer that one, Tony. So there's two things. When you see a new device pop up onto Facilities Manager, we tell you about it, and you've got a few choices. Really, two choices. You can start monitoring it directly under Silver, Gold, or Platinum and see it, or you can choose to not monitor it or not manage it. And so what we do is we still scan those devices in the system, whether you're paying for them or not, and this report is the only way to see devices that you're not managing. So hopefully that answers your question with that. And yeah, so that's, and we only give you bands, so we don't give you the entire information. A lot of people do use Silver to monitor the entire fleet, and so in that case we would see them all as managed unless there is another checkbox within the system that you can choose to, if you're going to see every single print going through, there is another checkbox that you can decide whether it's managed or unmanaged. But at the very basic form of this, we set it up so that you've got a high-level overview whether you're paying us or not with your managed and unmanaged devices. What is the cost per month? Okay, so we have different cost bases around the world, and we have a lot of people around the world that are on this system. The base for North America, and it is more expensive than some of the other regions around the world because of distributors, but the base in North America is we charge you $1 per device per month. And so the devices that are secured with Print Audit Secure are $1 per month or $12 per year. So by far the least expensive. Tony, thanks for saying we hear you. You can't hear us. Appreciate it. It was my one of our guys telling me, but it was his headphones that died. How much is Print Audit Premier? Again, I get into costing. I'm not supposed to be talking about costing online with these things. So if you go to the printaudit.com website, North American people will see the North American pricing. It is priced differently in different parts of the world, and they've got different offers in different parts of the world. But for North America, you'll see that it's for the first 50 dealers, it's about $2,500 per month. When will FM report the tiered clicks from Kyocera and Canon products? I see that's from Jack. Good question, Jack. If you've got it in as a FogBug's case, or if it's in as a case for us, it might be attacked within the next ICE, but what I'm going to do, because that's an ICE collection issue, but I've got your question here, Jack, and I'll make sure that we get back to you. What aspects of FM are supported to the link with eAutomate 8.0? I don't know exactly, Gene. So what I'll do is I'll get back to you as well. I'm not sure exactly what aspects are changed. I think it's probably similar to what we did with the eAutomate earlier versions, but we've just been back and forth with them over the last couple of months to make sure that the compatibility and that the data is going in. So I don't think that there's a lot of change, and if there's other features and functionality that you want there, please let us know. But I'll see if I can get you a list. Okay, that was my list of questions. Tony, I owe you some math, so I'll get back to you on that. There we go. And I'll find out about aspects of FM for eAutomate. Jack, I owe you some information on FM for tiered clicks from Kyocera and Canon. Maven code. Okay, well, let me start with Stacy. So I've got a couple more questions that popped up. Can you send me some literature on the pull printing info shared today? Yeah, sure, Stacy. And I got to tell you, when you see this, you're going to be, it's an amazing system. It's really neat. What is a Maven code? Oh, so Maven code essentially is, this is for Print Audit Premier, not anything to do with Facilities Manager today. We have a bunch of partnerships with industry heavy hitters like Supplies Network, Newfield IT, Focus MPS, and IDC, and many more. They can give you a code that will either give you a discount on their products or services, or possibly give you a discount on our system. Contact those guys directly. Stacy, she's super excited. So am I. I hope you can hear it in my voice. Okay, any other questions? We've managed to keep this down to a half an hour. I'm going to do this more often for you guys. I think it's important for us to communicate with you and let you know what's going on with Facilities Manager. We understand how mission critical it is to your businesses, and so our goal this year is to communicate more often and better, and get out improvements on a timely and quick basis. So we're excited about this. And, oh, somebody's written with the new ice. Oh, will scanning for Lexmark be improved with the new ice? That's a good question again. I'm not sure exactly what's going to be in the ice. You'll have to see. Mostly what we've done is we think that we've collected almost all of the outstanding issues with the ice. And I know that we've been in touch with Lexmark. So probably it will. It really depends on the device too, how well we do scanning with these things. So Facilities Manager, device scanning and all that stuff, it's a bit of an art in that the devices sometimes don't give us what we're looking for. But the benefit that you have with us in Facilities Manager is that we have very close relationships with all of the manufacturers, and we can tell them what's broken in their machines. When they get to fixing it, there's no telling, but they are very forthcoming with us with this information, and it's really because of you guys. And so if we communicate back to you that we're having trouble with the manufacturer with that device, so Stafford, I'll find out if there's going to be Lexmark improvements for you. Okay, so we're at half past the hour, or close to half past the hour. I hope this has been a good 28 minutes for you, and I hope you've learned a lot. Again, we're always here for you. Join the support portal, learn about Print Audit Secure, and we'd love to see you as a Premier customer as well. Thanks very much for your time today, and we'll talk to you soon. Yeah, and anything that I've shown you here, feel free to call Print Audit, talk to your support rep in North America. It's James Hills for all of FM. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.